Hey guys, well I'm starting to work on the truck, replacing that pinion seal. Just got back from the auto parts store, and really I guess the only reason I decided to do this myself, well, for one is money. Two is I think it's a fairly simple job. Jinx myself saying that. Hope that wind's not bothering the microphone too much. It's windy outside today, and I'm kind of in a little bit of a carport here. Try to block some of the wind. But I went by the auto parts store. I don't know if they're going to have the seal that I need. I may have to order it. But one nice thing is most auto parts stores will rent you tools. Actually, just let you borrow the tools. This is a gear puller I'm going to need for this job to pull part of the drive line out of the I don't know what you call what the term is, but pull part of the truck apart so I can replace the seal. And then I got a 30mm deep well socket. I have some metric sockets, but I don't think I have one this deep. They didn't have a impact socket, which is really what I needed, because I'm going to try to use an impact, my electric impact gun for this, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, what you do is you put a deposit down on the tools, and if and when you bring them back within 90 days, I hope to have this done well before 90 days, you get full refund on your money. If you don't bring it back, then your deposit, you basically bought the tool, but I of course intend to take it back. But I'm about to go underneath the truck, and I don't know how the lighting will be for you guys and the wind and everything else, but I'm going to do my best, try to kind of show you what's going on and explain it to you. One thing about this truck, it's a 2004 Nissan Titan. I really I've almost traded it off a couple of times, but man, when it comes down to it, it's just hard to beat for what I need. I don't need a big heavy-duty truck, but it's a pretty good towing truck. It doesn't do real good on gas, but I mean, it's a trade-off, right? Either you can pull something or you get good gas mileage. So anyway, the truck has just under 86,000 miles on it, and it's really in outstanding shape. Most vehicles out here in Iowa seem to be rusted out because of all the salt they put on the roads, but I, of course, bought the truck in Colorado, and we moved out here last year, and I do everything I possibly can to not drive it on the wet roads around here because of that salt. So a result of that is, in comparison to most trucks in Iowa, or at least the ones I've seen driving on the road, almost have basically no rust on the bottom side of this truck. Some surface rust on the exhaust system, but anyway, I've got the truck. I don't have a garage, a nice 3-car garage like I used to have, so I've got it in the yard here, up on my ramp, so I can crawl underneath it. I could put it in the carport and work on it, but I don't think I can lift it up high enough to get underneath, and there's no air circulation in there. It's much cooler out here on the ground, outside the carport. So anyway, let's go underneath here and I'll show you what I'm doing. Hopefully the lighting's decent enough that you can see. But you can see a bunch of liquid dripping off of that, and that's all wet. This is the front drive shaft. And this piece right here is the seal, and as you can kind of see, that's where it's been leaking. It's been leaking for a couple of years, but I had it parked in my garage in Colorado, and I just have about a quarter-size spot on the garage floor, and Nissan had told me that it's really not worth worrying about, but obviously it's progressed. So it's time to do it, especially with some of the trips I'd like to take. So I need to take out 4 bolts here, 2 here and 2 on the other side. pull this drive shaft off, and then that tool, that puller, is to pull this piece out of the transmission. There's another big bolt that's 30 millimeter or nut in there. I need to take that nut off with that socket and then use that puller to pull this off, and then I can get to the seal around there. The seal is going to cost me about 50 or 60 bucks if I buy a Nissan part, because Nissan's proud of their stuff and they're expensive, genuine Nissan part. The guy couldn't find one on the parts list at the auto parts store and aftermarket, so I may have to order it. Either way, if I can get it done with the tool loan and everything, only thing really I'm gonna have to buy is new fluid to put back in the differential, maybe a pump to pump the fluid into the differential. Be about $8 for that, for the pump, and then 50 bucks for the part. So I think that's a whole lot cheaper than taking it down and having somebody do it. I didn't call and try to get estimates or anything, but as you can see, the frame and everything underneath this truck, it's pretty clean. It's in pretty good shape for what it is. 10-year-old vehicle. Actually a 13-year-old truck. And it's less than 100,000 miles on it, so anyway, I thought about selling it, and I'm still kind of thinking about that, but either way, this still needs to be done if I keep it or sell it or whatever. But if I sell it, then I won't have anything to pull my fifth wheel with. Oh, the dilemmas. Anyway, I'm going to set the camera up and put a time lapse on, and I'm going to take this plate off, 4 bolts hold it on, so I can get up in there to the feel hole on the side of the differential up in there. I don't know if I can get the camera on it or not. Anyway, through there is a feel hole. There's my drain. I need to drain that thing and then take this drive shaft apart. So that's where I'm going to start. So right there's my fill hole on that, and then drains up underneath here. So I can get to that, and then I can wipe that off. Now I got to try to get these bolts out of this axle, and I don't know if I have the right wrench for this. So I got to go find a wrench, see if I got one. Alright, I got the right size wrench, but it's tough to get to. So, should be fun. Let's see what happens here. Go the right way, that might help. There we go. Well, unfortunately, the only way I'm going to be able to get to this darn thing is move the truck back a little bit. Looks like this part here is about the only place I can access the bolt or the nut. So I don't think I can get a socket on there. Let me try. Let's see. I can get the socket on it, but I can't get my, I need a swivel. And I might have one. Yeah, let me see if I have a swivel. Either that or move the truck, one of the two. Well, what I decided to do was I'm going to move this bar out of the way. I think that's easier than moving the truck. Problem is, I never have the right tools. Sorry about the camera work, guys. So I removed 2 bolts here, and I'm going to remove one of these and loosen the other, and then just swing the bar down out of the way, and hopefully I'll be able to get to those bolts up in here. So we'll see. Luckily, I have an electric impact wrench. I don't have a proper socket. I don't have the impact socket, so I'm using the standard socket, but these aren't torqued that hard, so we'll see. This will work. It worked on this other side. And I don't have a deep well either. My life story. I know it's probably in the way of the camera. Let's see. There's one. All right, we'll just loosen that one. And hopefully I can just swing this thing down out of the way from this side. Alright, well, let's pull it all the way out then. Might as well take it all apart, huh? Where's my socket? There we go. Lose the socket in the grass or the nut. A little bit of dirt up in there, keep it from coming out very easy. Clean that thing out. All right, got that support brace out of the way. Now I got a pretty good view on these, so hopefully I can get these nuts out of there. We'll see. Okay guys, I was able to get them out. The only place to operate my wrench is right in here, so I kind of had to move that bar to really get my wrench in there so it's square on the nut, which is fine. And you're probably asking, well, why don't you put the wrench on the other side on the head? But the way that's designed, this bar kind of holds the head of the bolt, and it can't turn once it's pushed in there. The only thing that can turn is the nut. So that's how I had to do it. I had to back the truck down so the top 2 bolts are down here where I could get to them with the wrench and have room to operate the wrench. So that was kind of a pain, but now that I got it figured out, it's not a big deal. I'll have to kind of do a reverse process of that when I go to putting it back in. But I'm gonna try to set the camera up here and then pull that drive shaft off of there, and then I'll kind of show you where I'm at from there. So I got one bolt just sitting in there holding it. Pull that bolt out and it should come down. And the U-joints feel good. So I'm just gonna hang that up off to the side, out of the way. And now I can get to the 30 millimeter nut inside and then get my puller on there. So what I want to do now is I'm going to mark the shaft, the nut, and this, whatever this piece is called. I don't know the terminology for it. I'm going to mark them with a scratch or something so I can get them all back in the exact same spot. The inside of this piece is splined, so I can get it set back in exactly where it is. And then that way I know where to torque that nut back down to when I put it back in there. And I'm hoping my electric impact is going to have enough power to back that bolt or that nut out of there. If not, I got a long cheater bar. I guess I might have to do it manually. But that's where I'm at now. I'm going to mark that up and then start working on that nut. Be right back. Alright, I just took a Sharpie and marked it. You can see, hopefully see that black line I got on there. On the center shaft, on the nut, and then on the outer ring there. Now the trick is getting all that out of there without wiping that off. If I wipe it off, I'll be in trouble. And I'm also counting the threads. On the bottom of that shaft I have 3 threads exposed. So that's hopefully going to help me get that nut back onto the same location. Now I don't know if I back that off there how much fluid's going to come out, so I put my drip pan down here. Maybe no fluid will come out just taking the nut out of there, but we'll see if I can get the camera out of the way and we'll see what happens. I don't have a... It's not an impact socket, which it should be. Hopefully I don't break it. I guess if I break it, I bought it. But let's see what happens. It's pretty good size. Oh, that's not going to fit my... Yeah, it'll fit. All right. Wish me luck. I don't know if this electric wrench is going to have the power to do it. It doesn't look like it will. It hasn't moved yet. Well, that's got some serious torque on it. I'm gonna have to do it by hand. I'm gonna move this camera out of the way though. And I don't know if I can get enough leverage on that or not. I got about a 2-foot cheater bar. We'll see. All right, I got it loose, guys. You can see my big old cheater bar, and I had it basically hanging straight down. I got out there on the side and pushed it with my foot, and I did get it broke loose, so I'll probably have to do almost the same thing when I put it back I do have potential to borrow a air impact wrench from a friend, so maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But we'll take it apart. I just don't know if we can put it back together. All right. Voila. So, next thing is see if that puller is going to work. So let me shut this off for a second, get that puller set up, and then we'll give it a shot. Yeah. Let's try to get you guys set up so you can see this. Probably not very well, but that's about the best I'm going to be able to get it. All right, let's see what we got here. This thing. It needs turned around here. Yeah, let me mess with this and get it on there, guys. I'll come back. Alright, guys, wish me luck. This thing's missing about half the nuts to hold it together. That's what you get with the rental tool, I guess. All right. Hey, it worked. So it wasn't on there too awful tight, but that's good. That tool's falling apart. All right, so there's my seal right there. And still have my marks on here, so that's good. All right, next step is I'm gonna have to get a drain that differential and then get myself a new seal. I'm just gonna take a screwdriver and work around the edge and then get in here and pry that thing out. And I'm gonna destroy it worse than what it is getting it out of there, but I'm obviously putting a new one in. So that's it for now, guys, till I get a new seal. There we go, guys. Got the seal out of there, got it cleaned up. Still have my mark on the shaft for putting it back together, and it cleaned up really nice. It actually looks brand new once I cleaned all the grime off the outside. Oh, and I pulled the plug and drained it. And the plug is a metallic, or not a metallic, but a magnetic plug. And it looked pretty darn good. It had a thin layer of black on it, but really no metal particles and that sort of thing, and the fluid looked relatively clear. Actually, it was almost clear. So I think we're in good shape. I just need to get a new seal and get that put in. Got that all cleaned up. I'll go to town tomorrow and see if I can't find a seal. Matter of fact, I may just order a factory Nissan seal from Amazon. I think that's what I'll do. Unfortunately, I'll have to wait for the new seal to come in, but once that comes in, we'll get it put back in, and I'll show you the finished product after we get that done. See ya. Oh, here's the seal. Had to beat it up pretty good to get it out of there. It had orange RTV around the edge, around the outside edge, so I had to clean it off of the inside of there. And I'll do the same when I put the new one on. And I broke it kind of has a spring that tightens around the shaft that provides the seal. And I can't remember if I broke the spring or if it was already broken or what, but anyway, it's broken now. So we'll get a new seal put in there and we'll be in good shape. See ya.